welcome to Gemstone Tarot, where we have made some progress with the tech, and this is for Monday the 21st of June 2026, and I have kind of decided that while we have like adding things up / working out if Paul bought 50 pencils and got on a train how many cakes Jennifer baked at the school cake sale, -1 would be, that gives me maths face. There's a whole new thing for doing what I've been doing over the past few days with wires and dongles and cameras and new laptops and HDMI, USB-C, USA. Who knew there was a USA? Not America, but like a cable thing. USB thing. Gives me tech face, and I think tech face is almost like, you know, when like a person in a pub gets so drunk they just go face down in their pint. It's like that. That's tech face. So it's giving me tech face. It's giving tech face. Anyway, there is a thing in this world, actually. It needs to be said. I'm going to have a rant now. I'm going to rant. There is this massive divide. I don't know how male-female it is, but I think it is a bit male-female as well, between techie people who work on IT help desks, and I'm not saying that you're all the same, but in general, who run computer shops, you know, when you go in asking for a dongle or whatever it is that you're asking for, that they have like zillions, my computer made a noise, zillions of information, and they're kind of gatekeeping it, and they give you this stupid kind of attitude. And then you're there mumbling and bumbling, I want this to happen, I want that to happen. And there's a, as Shakespeare would say, there is many a slip twixt cup and lip in this scenario. And then you sort of come out of you have to do this weird being patronised and mansplained and, well, if you didn't know it was an HDMI to C to A to B to Z, ha ha ha. And you're like, to eventually come out at the end with something. And occasionally, and I do know one, I do know a computer guy who is really nice, and he just comes around and says, it is confusing, isn't it? Even if it isn't, probably. And just, you pay him some money and he does it. So, just wanted to have a rant. Goodbyes. Paul Simon famously promised 50 ways to leave your lover in his song, but only made good on 5 of them. You forgot to add the 0, Paul. And frankly, I don't need to be coy, Roy. Was less a method and more of an encouragement. So Joshua Blackburn's getting a little bit salty in this one. One humour writer, Michael Leonetti, attempted to plug this gap by sharing the missing 45, including flee to a cave, Dave, use that canoe, Lou, and you know that I'm going to ask you to put yours in the comments. Needs to be original, okay? I'm trying to think of one. Off you must fly, guy. There you go. But since a number of Leonetti's suggestions didn't rhyme or scan, they can't be regarded as credible relationship advice. One thing Paul Simon got right was the importance of good rhyming departure. Oh, yes. Can we just take a moment, right, and say that good rhyming departure is essential? Essential. Even, I would say, especially if you're leaving on bad terms, a little versification can ease the pain, or I would say add to it, deliberately. In fact, any kind of wordplay to herald your leaving will often be appreciated. Although the best known rhyming is "see you later alligator" was documented in the early 50s, flappers were making their cutesy goodbyes decades earlier with their classy "so long chum, be seeing you in the funnies." It's probably contextual. Here are 40 ways to say goodbye, generously furnished with rhymes and puns. As Haile Selassie was wont to say, Abyssinia. I'll just do a few. Adios, daddy-o, arrivederci, pasta churchy. Bye-bye chicken thigh. Oh, okay, adios, daddy-o, arrivederci, pasta churchy. Bye-bye chicken thigh, chop chop lollipop, fly high butterfly, Give a hug, ladybug, gotta flee, bumblebee, gotta go, daddy-o, gotta run, honeybun, gotta scat, alley cat, hasta la vista, little sister, hasta la mañana, iguana. Later, tater, laters, haters, let's go, gecko. I love this one, I know it's awful. Make like a baby and head out. I used to have a friend that said that one. And make like a bad check and bounce. Remember checks? I remember checks. I remember being a student. I don't know if anybody else in the UK remembers this. I remember being a student and being skint, obviously, having no money. And then and running a very cheap car. So I ran this crap car. I loved it. And then you could put like £5 of petrol in or something. Not like now, where that would probably be like a bit of vapour off the nozzle would be £5. And if you didn't have any money, but you knew that you would get like some money in 2 or 3 days, you could write a cheque at the I'm not recommending this, by the way. You could write a cheque at the petrol station. It would take 3 days to clear. And then you could run on those fumes for 3 days. There you go. Back in the day. Skint student days. If you have any skint student day stories, I'll give you another one if you like, which isn't very skint, but we lived in a house. I lived in a house, 6 of us, 6 girls, and they were all very religious because I was doing religious studies, so I met them on religious studies. That's just a by the by. And then we were in this big old Victorian house, and it had no heating. And when you got up in the morning, it's so grim, we just had to put the 4 cooker gas things on and leave them on, and that was our heating. I know, not too bad. I have many worse stories. Okay, do furnish me. See what I did there? Furnish me with your skint stories. God. Okay, we're using Lightseer's Tarot because we feel like it, and it's a great deck. It's Monday, it's the start of the week. When? I don't know where the moon diary is. It is elsewhere. When does Mercury go retrograde? Is it in about a week's time? Anyway. Making its presence felt. Okay. Shall we see if we can do a cards down? I know. I know. Well, actually, you'll have to plug the USB-C A into the USB-C B and the USB-C Z. Well, let's do it. Oh my god. Oh, look, I put a massive biddly bop fade in there, which I forgot to do, but I'm working around with my biddly bop so we can have biddly bop back, okay? Do you remember it had like a massive fade on? A real 1983 Top of the Pops Legs & Co fade. Look! Look, people! Look, it's a miracle. It's much more of a miracle than you know. Okay, come on, Gemma, get it. I'm giddy with excitement. I am. We got the strength card because we're going to need it over the next few weeks. Let's just be bold and out there about it, okay? We're going to need it because I think it's going to be a bit tricky and a bit annoying, and that's okay. Okay, with the 2 of Wands that's next to it, it's telling us that we've got to make a choice, but that choice is a lived choice. So 2 of Wands, although it is a decision card, and you always get 2 poles, 2 something in there, because it's Wands, it's important that we know that we're making that choice not with fire, but with our body's energy, with our mind, our body and soul, with movement, with experience, not necessarily just cerebrally, okay, not just intellectually. 5 of Swords, Venus in Aquarius, oof, oof. Sometimes that can be that we're up in our head or that someone else is up in theirs, and we need to just bring that elevator down into the soul and see how we feel about something rather than how we think about it. In the middle, this one, we're never going to be far from this month. The Eight of Cups wants to come out. Saturn in Pisces. We had it yesterday. It's not going anywhere at the moment. I actually think this is not a card to be feared. Sometimes we fear this card because it kind of means relationship breakups and stuff. I think it's much more than that. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. It's also a very nice version of the card, isn't it? A really nice version. Sorry if I keep looking over there because I'm just checking that my monitor hasn't broken. I'm completely paranoid. And then over here we got the Ace of Wands. Yeehaw, communication, things happening, but not necessarily in the order you want, as clearly as you want, or even what you want to hear, but at least they're happening. You're speaking, they're speaking, whether that's an institution, a person, whatever, and there's back and forth. There's communication of sorts. Maybe not how you thought it would be, but it's there. And underneath it all, you're actually living out making a decision. Woof! Just gave myself tinnitus doing that. Excellent. Leave me a comment. Let me know your biggest money saving device when you were a student or just skin, or even now, or whenever it is. And I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.